This chapter had a lot of things I wanted to bring to your attention to button it up a little better, right? One of the more information heavy without really saying much chapters, so you have to go a bit deeper to understand. Sure, you could say that about any One Piece chapter, but this one in particular, you must make some inferences based on subtle information that was left, but in hindsight, it may be obvious that Oda was leaving it here for us to figure out, right? Oda has mentioned before that he somewhat struggles with writing for the hardcore audience as well as the casuals, and this chapter did just that. My goal in this video is to cover 3 separate things in regards to the chapter. 1, did Oda just confirm that Momonosuke is Joy Boy? 2, did the world government just confirm that Luffy's devil fruit is indeed of the special variety? And 3, actually I forgot number 3, but I'll remember it at some point, I'm sure. Just stay with me here, okay? There are a few other things that I want to talk about that may be labeled as extracurricular and pretty damn interesting though, but I want us to stay on task today, or at least try. So yeah, let's begin, shall we? First, about Momonosuke. The argument for Momonosuke being Joy Boy is pretty tame in comparison to Luffy, but there is an argument, okay? Momo has been shown to possess unique skills rivaling even Luffy in that department when it comes to straight up importance and special abilities that are somewhat unexplained, okay? Red Hawk, what the hell is that? Luffy has the ability to make anyone an ally, but Momo can command an elephant. A pretty old one too. By the way, this is the former Nakama of Joy Boy. I'm seeing more and more people leaning to the side that Zunisha committed a crime and Joy Boy had to punish his friend. Okay, so some are readily saying that Joy Boy is the person who made Zunisha walk, so obviously the person who can make her stop is the new Joy Boy. Okay, that is a logical thought, I guess, but when you dig a bit deeper, it falls apart like well-cooked ribs. First off, Joy Boy, based on the information we have about him, seems like a decent person, right? What type of friend, current or former, would make someone walk for almost 1,000 years as punishment? What did he do? Slap his moms? Even then, 1,000 years. Isn't that a wee bit excessive, mate? I understand betrayal as a mother, but damn, that's a bit harsh, especially for someone that's labeled or comes across as a good person. He wrote an apology letter to Fishman Island for something he couldn't complete, right? When I can't complete something, I just don't show up, right? That's just what we do. And I don't think I'm a bad person, but damn. The former world government, I can see 100% doing that, but you must have that power to do something of the sort, which people do speculate Imu has that power. But I look at Joy Boy the same way I do for Luffy, and that he is the key component for the ancient weapons, but not necessarily the person who can command anyone, right? If this thinking is true, that ultimately rules out Momonosuke, as he may just be an ancient weapon. Saying someone is just an ancient weapon is kind of crazy, but it's relevant because there's some more information out there which suggests it could not be Momonosuke. First things first, Oden, and the dialogue around Joy Boy. So 26 or 25 years ago, after Oden had joined the Roger Pirates, they went to Fishman Island. On the way there, they heard the Sea King speaking of sovereigns being born. They were elated for the day the 2 sovereigns would be born again, 10 until birth, another 15 to grow. That's what they said. If history is any indicator, and already knowing that Joy Boy and the former Poseidon lady person had a relationship, that points directly to Shirahoshi and Luffy. Roger also directly states that someone would be born to surpass them, speaking to Rayleigh, and even says Ace would be the one to do it. So take that for what it's worth. But next, Oden is flat out saying up until this point there was a purpose to the country being closed, but now we must open the ports before the day that Joy Boy appears. At this point, Momonosuke is already born and in Wano. Also, Momonosuke says that he knows why he can't die, and it ain't because he's Joy Boy, because he's been here and he has a very important role to play. But then why would Oden be cryptic about his own son when he's already there? I know it's interesting to speculate that it could be Momo, and I wouldn't mind that nice little jelly twist, but it's Luffy. It's always been Luffy. There's a literal panel that even stated Luffy is the man Kazuki Oden was waiting for. You know, we can get cute about this if you want to, but I think it's obviously Luffy. Okay, that was kind of a mouthful, but I hope we're on the same page with this now, right? Cool? Cool. It just came to me actually, and that's about convincing you to subscribe to the channel. Maybe you're not convinced so far, so okay, here's a question. What chapter did Toki tear up pages from Oden's logbook? Yeah, it happened. If you got it right, you probably don't need me. Probably. But if you didn't, stick around. I got some fun stuff to talk about, and you gotta subscribe, okay? So enough of this, let's get to topic number 2. Luffy's devil fruit might just be of the special variety. Upon reading this chapter initially, I did ponder the possibility that Oda was confirming that the devil fruit the Gorosei reference could have been Luffy's, and while that may be the case, it seems that it's not necessarily confirmation, but it's pretty damn close. This entire war, the priorities have changed for the world government, and eliminating Luffy was not at the top of the list as far as we could see. Now, suddenly, after the information about a devil fruit that was possibly lost to time, here we have Luffy who needs to be eliminated immediately. What the hell happened this quickly? It seems like the conversation led them to the possible conclusion that Luffy's devil fruit, if awakened, could be the one of legend. There's also the mention of this war being the perfect cover to eliminate inconveniences, right? But this does not seem like that type of party. This is straight up saying he needs to go now. This has also led to speculation about Shanks going to the Gorosei and Luffy being the pirate mentioned, but all I see there is Shanks would be making Luffy's journey astronomically more difficult if he was taken seriously, but then what would be the purpose there? And I suppose that's my issue with this, and even Shanks being evil, right? What's the motive for either of these? There are some leaps to be made for sure to connect this to Shanks, but he seems to know a lot, and this devil fruit in particular was targeted, so I suppose it's not crazy, especially with the indication that Luffy may be trying something new, because we all know Gear 4th will not get the job done, right? That's not gonna happen. He needs something a bit more, and we've already seen 2 Supernova awaken, so maybe it's Luffy's turn, then the world may change forever. The change that could occur is anybody's guess, but if you want to infer, again, like the chapter somewhat forces you to do consistently, be my guest. I don't know. I mean, this awakening could be the thing that stops Blackbeard from destroying the world. Who knows? But Shanks does grow more and more suspicious by the day for me. Only time will tell about that red-haired bastard, though. Now to extracurricular stuff, in particular Toki and Oden. So these two and their decisions you can question till the end of time, but we're going to try and make sense of it based on what we know now. Don't worry, I did not forget the trivia. We'll get to that too, for sure. So first, Oden. The obvious issue most have with his decisions and his choice to twerk for Orochi and Kaido for 5 whole years, especially in hindsight, even when Kaido said that was probably not the right move, but I have no issue with it. The show must go on. And plus, I'm sure he became a pretty good dancer over those 5 years, so, you know, there's some benefit. Either way, my issue is with his decision to leave Wano when it was clearly in trouble, especially leaving your wife and kids there. Yes, the adventure ultimately will help change the world for the better, but holy crap, that is just on another level. To his defense, his wife did say she would divorce him if he stopped. But damn. So now with Oden's journey, he has this logbook, and it's culminated with these amazing words about them learning the entire truth of the world, the 100-year void, what the people of the D are, what the ancient weapons are, and that Wano was open to the world in the past. So with Oden knowing all this, he tore out pages from the logbook seemingly and gave them to Lady Toki. What is the purpose of this? Also to complete the trivia question, I didn't forget, the chapter in which Toki is seen receiving pages which we assume to be Oden's logbook, and then subsequently tearing them on the next page was chapter 972. If he got it right, kudos, right? If not, I'll see you around because you're stuck with me. On a serious note though, at the same time, Oden looks almost like a prophet that Momo said that he wasn't. He specifically stated that over 20 years in the future, the primary figures of the war will be able to strike down Kaido. Unless this was also written at Laugh Tale, how the hell would he know this? But then giving Toki this pertinent information to read and destroy, I suppose Toki's goal was to make sure that this was possible by any means necessary, is just still weird. Oden repeatedly references that he will not die, even in death, which is weird to the point that even Toki started believing it. The will of D is indeed real, and inherited will is an important yet a very vague expression, but Oden and Toki somewhat confirm that this inherited will is a bit more than just happenstance. They know for a fact that these things are coming. They know Momonosuke is needed as well as the Dukes. It is clear though that some things that are written in the logbook, they couldn't afford for it to get in the wrong hands because it directly tells too much important information. The brilliance of the dawn that Toki speaks of is the defeat of Kaido leading to spectacular events, right? Kaido chose Wano for a reason. That reason we do not know yet, but in the coming chapters it will all be revealed, and Toki and even her initial purpose, which Oden basically said she was searching for the day the world is overturned. I mean, it's a beautiful story and it's all coming together, boys and girls, but give me your thoughts. Yeah, it's a lot, right? But this chapter was a doozy. Give me your thoughts. How do you feel about all this? Make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Again, guys, be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost.